Alright, today should be this little unscheduled Go component lab is actually more TypeScript than Go. We wrote a little object manager the other day in Go, and so we're going to port that to TypeScript. But first, do a little bit of Go. I wanted to split this out into some separate files. It's got a bunch of stuff in here, so you can put the object manager in here. I don't like that name. Manager. Or even just objects, because it's okay. We could do the server's so simple. Let's see, we could do call response. I don't want to really split this out into a bunch of files, but I'm having a hard time figuring out the major things to split out. guess that's it. Alright, so now some what we call it, TypeScript. Where is our TypeScript? I like that it's short. I guess I do want to do some equivalent of export, which should be quite a bit easier. Passing a receiver. I guess that helps because I can call, what is it, apply? JavaScript apply. Yeah. I guess it's a function. It's the type. I'm gonna call it a receiver anyway. This would return a handler, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Created a handler type. I did, okay. Oh, I just am doing TypeScript wrong. So blah 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 blah. Reflection. Handler. Func. That's true. Did we make a handler func helper? I guess not. I could just create an anonymous object that implements that interface. I did that somewhere. Where did I do that? This. Responder call. Async, yeah. I think so. I think I want to call it async. What's the problem? Oh, I'm not doing TypeScript right again. This is almost always going to be the same, isn't it? I guess this would be async because I'm going to be doing some stuff. And actually, I guess I want to look at my... Let's see, I guess we don't know if the function should be called asynchronously. I guess if we did... If we did something... I think you can do multiple signatures. What do you call that? Multiple constructors, multiple function overloads. I really... Here we go, yeah. Other programming languages, but it's not valid TypeScript. Instead, we can specify an overload list. Describe type system. I don't think that'll be enough. And there's no reflection in TypeScript, is there? TypeScript has decorators? That's crazy. We could just say that all functions have to return a promise. They're all async. We'll do that for now. We don't actually want to support an array of arguments because we're mostly going to do structured objects. So that should do it. I mean, we could even simplify this. So that's significantly simpler than our Go equivalent. What else? We need to catch exceptions. That's something we have to do differently. Okay. Well, I guess we could at least do this. Let's see here, return. So our return is, where's our responder? If it's an instance of error, which is our error type, I think we made an error type. Error. Kind of makes it hard to identify if it's a an error, a normal error. Can we do like a switch type of or something? Yeah, I guess so. Is type of undefined undefined? String undefined. Let's see. Object. It's probably an error if it's an object. I actually want to return? I don't actually want to return. Yeah. Yeah. Unknown error. Although we can try and make it a string. Alright, so that's error handling. Export function called export. Right, I think that's what it would do. Lowercase. And then the complicated bit would be what? Did I do a handler that just does other handlers? A handler that looks up handlers. Oh, and it's just got it like a closure. All right. Okay. We gotta go over own properties. How do we do that? JavaScript. Iterate over an object. But we have to also check to see as it has own property. Okay. And is it a function, I guess? export func v key v. And then return a handler that does a lookup on handlers. Method handler does not exist for this destination. Handlers has own property. Method, which I don't know if we were parsing, so I'll have to check that. Otherwise, handlers, method, serve, NPC. That seems important. I think that should do it. What else is missing here? I guess because it's a function in JavaScript, I shouldn't call it capital export, but then we have that problem. So let's see, what else could we call it? Whatever. I feel like I had just thought of, oh yeah, the parsing, right? Are we parsing call? Where the fuck is call? Parse to do. So you basically want to implement the logic here. So, nice. Don't we? Oh, I guess substring. That works, right? Whoops. Can I do anything like this? I guess I could pop. Yeah. Alright, so now we're parsing it. We should be able to use this export now. Let's see here. So let's make sure this works first. PC node make. That is already in use. That's true. We need a client. Echo. Oh shit. All right, one's doing. I guess I haven't tried it, but we can. What's in WebSocket? All right. Shoot, uppercase is not a function. I gave you an argument though. This was working. It worked this time. Strange. All right, so we want to convert one of these to a function that we export. So let's try echo. So we'd say qrpc export function. We take a actually doesn't matter what it is as long as we return it. Upper works. Now does echo work? Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Handle func. Did I use handle func somewhere? Oh, yeah, probably that's the problem. Export returns a normal handler. I'm kind of surprised. Well, this isn't TypeScript, so. All right. So that worked. Let's port this one. Let's change it to lower. gRPC export function v. Wait, okay, wait, what? I thought we made assume that we'd return a promise. Did we not? Is it okay that we don't? It's a fucking string, so. Okay, so yeah, we don't actually care. What if we return a promise? What happens then? I imagine it'll break somehow, right? Oh, that's true. Thanks for the tip. I like how it told me there, but I guess that's what I made it do. Does await check to see if it's not a promise, and does it resolve automatically? Because that's cool. That's nice. All right, so we ported export. Well, let's check, see if we can export an object. I don't remember how to do plain old JavaScript oop. What are you giving me an example? What the fuck? I guess we do have them now. Okay, good, because I want to use them. This is my service. And this is something called echo. All right, let's call this demo and that should work, yeah? Let's find out. There's no more lower. And we have demo echo. Ooh, That's a problem. It might be the own property thing. When you do methods with that class style, do they have... I guess I can test this. Oops. Is it for each? What am I? What's the? In. No, I'm doing it in. I can do echo. What do we have here then? All right. All right. Of a class. I don't know if this will work. Get own property names. Okay. Prototype. Oh. Prototype. There we go. Do you think the constructor is always first? I guess we don't want to assume that. Okay, so that's an index. Well, I guess that's more props. If props ID X not equal constructor. Wait. Okay, this is the name. Wait, how would I get this? This is IDX. This is props IDX. Props IDX. So then we check here. Prop name not equal to that, and then v prop name. And let's make sure that works. Cool. All right, that should fix it up. I don't think we're calling parse, are we? Oh, we are. Okay, but that's not the one that we're getting an error for. It's this one. Okay, what? Oh, I needed to build it. All right, so that echo works. Let's get back to our demo. And then we have upper. Let's try upper. Okay, so export works. We can export objects. I don't know if it'll work for objects with functions on it, but it does work for classes, which is all I care about, I think. No, that's not true. I guess I need to test. API handle object. So we've got our upper, and then we should have object lower. No. We threw it a curb. Why does that seem weird to me? Export server RPC. Export server RPC. Handlers. Handlers. Has own property. Why isn't it? Handlers should always be an object, right? I don't get it. Oh, I didn't make it again. Okay, what? Okay, the first one makes sense. What the fuck? Okay, okay. It's all because of this. We need to check to see if it's a... How do you know if it's a... just a plain old object or... What is this? Okay, what if I make an object? Does the object have proto? It does. It's not exactly what I want. Type of... constructor. Maybe check the constructor. Okay. All right, all right. Okay, that's what we want. So we'll get rid of this. Now it should work. Oops. All right, so we can export objects of classes. Like that, as well as regular objects. Wasn't there select difficulty as kind of a video game reference? I thought they were doing maybe one of their music videos was like a video game or something, but maybe I'm remembering wrong. All right, I guess we do the object manager now, which should be pretty simple. We probably don't have a good ULID implementation in JavaScript, though. Maybe we do. Do I want to have this as a dependency? I don't really have message pack is the only dependency, and that one makes sense. This one's so little. Let's just do UUIDs. I don't want a library, just a function. Yeah, something like this. This looks obnoxious. This looks better. That looks okay. Yeah, I know, it's not TypeScript. Looks good to me. So make up an object manager. We don't care about locking as much. Mostly just this mount path stuff. How does this, maybe, I don't know, I'll just say any for now. Right, there we go. Managed object. What do I want to do here? How do we delete it? Yes, right there. Delete operator. It's always a delete operator. Alright. Trim prefix. Can I do... maybe replace... I only want to replace the first instance. First match. Thanks, Google. Okay, so you do need a flag, otherwise it does the first match. Or I guess... mount takes a API on a path. Last chance to reason. Yeah, I remember within the ruins. Last chance to reason. I forget if I remember them. Nah, I see that. don't know what these guys sound like, I don't think. But I love the song, so we'll come back to that. Oh shit, it's 1. I can finish this. I'll just do this. Port it real fast. Could you? That should work. Let's see if I can make one that I can use this client with. Demo new person. This is JavaScript. Name, age, anchor age. String. Do I just need to have it as a variable first? Okay. Anchor age. Object manager. Alright, so now we need to reference some shit. Create a person. And register them, return a handle. Return the handle. I don't think we have a handle, but I can return an object that looks like it. Because a handle is just... Oh god, where is it? Object path. And then this, and we have a person, which takes a object. We'll call it a handle. We could return JSON. JSON stringify. Stringify. Alright, what else? I think that's it. And mount it on demo. Alright, we do that. Let's try running this. And we'll instead do our qRPC demo. Go run client. Can't read property register. Oh, we didn't pass in our objects. Oops. Oops. No. That's true. I did not mount it anywhere. So close. What now? I'm not passing it in, that's all. Clearly I am trying to get to food. Alright. It got part of the way there. well, it's stuck. We're almost there. I'm going to do a quick recap and then I'll be done for now. Okay, so quick recap of what I did this morning, which is basically trying to port our object manager in qRPC, which we made the other day. Kind of move things around file-wise too here, but we have an object manager that manages references to objects and serves up their methods based on the export method that we can give that lets us export functions or objects, and it'll export the methods on it in Go. So today we ported most of that to TypeScript. We had to port the export stuff, which was pretty easy. Basically this stuff. So using a more dynamic language, higher level language is a little bit easier. We're not using ULIDs. Oh, I changed to ULIDs in the Go version, but in JavaScript we're still using UUID because it's easy to implement here. And then we implemented the object manager, which is pretty much the same API, the same concept as in Go. It's just a thing that contains values. When you register something, it creates a UUID, stores a value with that ID, gives you a managed object, which is a wrapper that gives you stuff like path and a way to dispose it. Then you mount your object manager so that it can serve up those paths, and it will basically look up the object and then export it, and then which creates a handler for it. So now you can call the methods on the objects that you register. We created a demo to test this out, kind of a contrived demo in Go, where we had this people service where we say new person, it creates a person. It just says the name and age, has functions for name and age age incrementer. So we call this new person thing, and it'll create a person instance, it'll register it, and then return its path. And then we had person, which then takes a thing that has a path, looks it up in our object manager, and then prints out like a representation of it, or returns a string. And so then our client, to kind of test this, we use this API, we say new person Jeff, we get a handle for it back. We use that handle to try and increment their age by 1. And then we call person, passing that handle to that person. And then so we should see a person named Jeff with an age 1 value higher than the default, which was 30. So the idea was I could use this client, since this whole thing is about interoperability, as I could use this client against the node implementation. So we created a demo, we created that service that does the same thing at a high level with the same kind of person, object, and everything, trying to reproduce what we were doing before, export everything, and it mostly works. The demo ran to at least get the handle for the object, but then it got stuck on trying to increment the age, I believe. So it basically got to so running the Go code, it basically gets up to here, and so this is, I'm sure, just some little stuff, and then we'll be done. And that's really exciting because then we can start. We now have the tools to expose JavaScript APIs to Go and Go APIs to JavaScript in a way that we can basically reflect their APIs and just generate servers. So it'll be really easy. So that's where this is all kind of building up to, which is kind of the whole point of all of this. This system here, which ties into our bus supervisor thing, and we've been kind of making a little toy prototype version of QC that we're mostly using for debugging, but this eventually will become something else. And then we can use all that to basically expose an API that is transformed from the Electron API. So now you can, and this is kind of getting at what we're ultimately getting at for this first part of the project that's interesting, is exposing the Electron API over QRPC, which you could then use in any language that can speak QRPC. So in this case, it'll be Go, but we could then implement Python and then use Electron from Python or whatever. QBus will help in sort of being able to quickly write little scripts to create little daemons to use Electron to basically extend your desktop. That is the point of DeskBot. It's basically the Electron API plus some Chrome API, since it comes with the Chrome, plus some Go modules that will be nice to have. So Robot Go is a Go package that does some cross-platform automation, like moving the mouse around and entering keyboard input and stuff like that. So you'll have an API to do that. And a PSUtil is basically system state information in a nice API. So exposing both of those then gives us an API for this Project DeskBot, which now you get kind of a nice API to your desktop, which lets you both automate stuff and extend your desktop, create new menus and stuff like that. So that's kind of the crazy point of all of this. And I have a prototype of this that works, but it's using this old API system that basically means I have to wrap every API by hand. And so previously I've been working on using the Electron API schema, which they publish, to transform the API into something that can be exposed over RPC. And so that was something I did before. I haven't been streaming that, but I have that. So that can then be used with QRPC to just generate an API. So as soon as we get JavaScript, this object manager stuff, we can then start combining that with the schema stuff in Electron D and generate the Electron API, and then we should be able to use the Electron API from Go. Then we have to do some schema stuff, which is not that hard, just some APIs to reflect on the API, which then the client can use, and use some enrichment so you can then call everything from the command line using QC, as well as let's see, what was the other thing that reflection will help with? Oh, generate a Go client. So right now we have to do all the calls manually, but we can make it more like a regular library, and then have that available in Go. And then that can be reproduced for any language. All right, that's it. I'm gonna work on game stuff later, so